Hello there, and welcome to the second session on the Lewis Master Degrees presentation, which is done online and is done basically live through our website and also Facebook and Twitter and said. I'm Andrea Prencipe, and I'm a Professor of Organization and Innovation at the Department of Business Management here at Lewis University, and I'm supposed to talk and entertain you in and around the MSc, two-year MSc program, also called Laurea Magistrale in Italian, in management. And I'm in a very good company today. Let me introduce Professor Richard T, who is just actually recently joined Lewis as an assistant professor. Before passing the ball on to him, let me just introduce very briefly myself. As I mentioned, I'm Andrea Prencipe, and I'm a Professor of Organization and Innovation. I do teach, in fact, a course on advanced organizational design, as well as a course on innovation management. And I'm, as you can spot from my accent, I've spent quite a few years of my life in the UK where I did take my PhD, and then I also worked as a research fellow. So I can say that I did experience and I did work in a truly international environment, the kind of environment that we've been building in Lewis for the last 3 years or so. Having said that, I'll pass the ball on to Richard, who is going to introduce himself and tell us something about his research career.
Okay, thank you. So my name is Richard T. I joined Lewis fairly recently as an assistant professor in organization and innovation. Before joining Lewis, I spent some time in the UK, in London, and also in Switzerland. And I'm really excited to be at Lewis in Rome now. I've been teaching a course on project-based organizations, and I will also be teaching courses on innovation. So looking forward to your questions and pass it on to you.
Okay, great. Thank you, Richard, and thank you, of course, for joining us in Lewis. So let me just tell you something about our MSc program. It's a two-year MSc program in management. The program is entirely taught in English. Does rely upon an international faculty. Richard and myself are on the faculty of this MSc program, and we do have lecturers from basically all over the world. As a matter of fact, when we hired Richard, we did also hire other assistant professors and other professors from other universities, other international universities. So we are in fact on a track to internationalize the school and the programs, and even our students are increasingly international. So this course is a truly good platform for undertaking an international career in management. Let me just provide you a couple of, say, distinctive features of our program. The first has to do with the kind of approach, the teaching approach that we use. I've underlined that in Lewis, and specifically in this program, we do combine both theory and practice. So basically you're going to be exposed to top academics, top international academics, but at the same time, we do, say, rely upon an interesting pool of professionals who can actually bring into the class their professional experience. So this is one way of combining theory and practice. The other way is to bring into class testimonials from the so-called real world, so from companies, from public administration, who actually entertain and discuss with you in and around real issues. So, for instance, we do what we call live case discussions. So we invite, say, managers who have, for instance, dealt with real management problems. They've experienced challenges, and they come into class to explain how they did it. And of course, they are more than happy to share with you their experience as managers, as executives. Lewis is also, in our program, as also another interesting, say, distinctive feature, which is we are part of Confindustria, which is the largest Italian industry association. And this, sort of strong relationship, strong link with Confindustria does offer our student opportunity to undertake internships, to undertake stage, is also at international level in top companies. So again, we try to combine both theory and practice, both in class and outside the class. Just one last thing about our teaching approach. Beside this, our, say, academic courses, we offer students the possibility, the opportunity to learn what we call soft skills. So we try to teach you about leadership, we try to teach you about relational abilities, we try to teach you all the secrets that would help you to find good job, good placements in the real world. So for instance, we have sessions on how to write a CV, we have sessions on how to approach a job interview and the likes. So this was something related to our teaching approach. Let me take you through what we call, say, the content of the course. Our course is, our program better, is composed of core courses and elective courses. Now, the core courses are, of course, focused on the, say, basic disciplines of management. And these are common across of our 4 majors, because our Master in Management, our MSc degree in Management, has 4 majors. And the 4 majors are the following. One is Corporate Finance, the second one is the International Management, then we have the Luxury, Fashion and Creative Industries, and the last major is on Innovation and Entrepreneurship. Now, each of these 4 majors, of course, contemplates specialized elective courses that would provide you with focused knowledge, focused skills on each of these different specializations. So for instance, if you want to work in the finance world, if you want to find a job in the finance world, then the corporate finance major could be your most appropriate choice, because you could be exposed, as I mentioned, to my colleagues who are top faculty in the corporate finance, but also you'll be exposed to top managers that work and in fact manage finance-based corporations. If instead you want to push yourself to become a truly international management, then your best or your most appropriate choice would be the international management major. And in this case, again, we do offer the opportunities to learn skills and refine your abilities as far as your job in a multinational corporation. Our last 2 majors are the Luxury, Fashion and Creative Industries, and this is a very specialized major which offers you the opportunity to learn the skills to work in what we call the Made in Italy sectors. So, say, as usual, the food industry or the food sector, the fashion and the luxury sectors, and the likes. Our last major, last but not least, of course, is the one on innovation and entrepreneurship. And this would provide you the skills, the tools, the methods to become an entrepreneur. And I think I'll stop here for a second, and I'll ask Richard to step in case he wants to start addressing some of the questions that you're posing via our social media tools. So, for instance, we do have a question from Domenico, who asks whether or not this program, and specifically, I think this innovation entrepreneurship major, is appropriate for whoever would like to start a business. So, Richard, the ball is on to you now.
Yeah, so I would say absolutely. This program can be a very good foundation for people who either want to work in business or who want to start their own business. So as was said before, we have courses on entrepreneurship, on innovation, in fact multiple courses on innovation that should give you the tools and frameworks to think about these things and how those can help your business, whichever field you'll be working in. Lewis also has a number of facilities that might help your startup, such as an accelerator and an incubator. that basically provide you with a network, with knowledge, with contacts to help your startup succeed. So I would say if you're interested in starting your own business, this could be an extremely suitable major for you.
Well, thank you, Richard. That's a very good point. As you'll hopefully learn if you decided to join our program, in order for an idea to be a successful entrepreneurial idea, the idea, of course, has to be good. But the network, what we call the entrepreneurial ecosystem, is the distinguishing factor between successful ideas, successful business ideas, as unsuccessful ones or failures. So via our incubator, the iLab, and via our accelerator, the Lewis N Labs, we do provide you with this network opportunities. So opportunities to link up with possible colleagues, possible partners that may help you to develop and refine your idea and make sure they can bring your idea from your brain to the market.
Yeah. Also, let me follow up on what was mentioned earlier about Lewis's connections to industry, Confindustra. This was one of the first things I really noticed when I joined Lewis. Is what I would like to do in teaching is also bring in guest lecturers where they're appropriate for the topic. And I contacted the careers office from Lewis, and I mentioned which kind of person I had in mind with a particular industry background, industry experience. And within a few days, they came back to me and actually recommended a particular person. It was extremely impressive, and this is not something that every university necessarily has. So just something to keep in mind thinking about connections to industry.
Okay, very good. We just got another question now from Adriana via Twitter, and she asks for advice and suggestion. Which master she's supposed to join to become manager in, in the world of sport? Well, I do have my own opinion regarding this profession, but of course I'd like also to ask what Richard thinks about. So my suggestion would be to, if you decide to join Lewis, would be to go for the international management major of our master degree in management, because increasingly international careers or careers in the sports, in the world of sports, are international. Although we do not have a major specialized in sport, what I can tell you is that our international management major does give you the opportunity to learn the basics, the important skills that you need then to deploy to be a good manager in the world, in the environment, in the context of sport. And I also can tell you that in fact, most of my colleagues do use case studies, do invite people from the world of sport, even those that actually live the experience world of sport, to get, to acquire, to expose our students to what really means working in that environment. So again, I would like, my suggestion would be to consider our degree in international management. Let me just pass the ball on to Richard. What do you think about it?
Yeah, no, I think international management could absolutely be a suitable major. Coincidentally, I was just talking to a colleague who's doing a project on transfer practices in football. And he spent many years in Barcelona, actually. And so he knows a lot about the club and about these practices. And I would say football or sport generally is a global business. So something like international management could be a very good foundation to think about the issues in that sector.
Okay, very good. Okay, so we can actually start a case study in probably in an Italian soccer team later on.
Maybe a Roman team as well.
Maybe a Roman team as well. We do have links with them as well. So we, I think it was last year, we did host the manager of Roma football club. So again, it's Lewis is located in the heart of Rome, and we try to take advantage of this location. Because Rome does host a lot of headquarters of top companies and also of top say, football or in general world's actors. Let's take this other question regarding our degree in management. The first says whether or not we contemplate the other foreign languages during in our university. Well, yes, of course, all courses in the program are taught in English, but you do have the opportunity to learn other languages. Also because, and that's another important point, as I mentioned, the class of students that takes this course is truly international. So not only you can take these courses, but you can also practice this language with your colleagues, your classmates that take with you the course on international management. There's another question regarding our degree from Emanuele, still via Twitter, and he asks whether this degree, this program, is compatible with the Italian university system. Of course it is. You're going to be still, say in inverted commas, getting an Italian degree. The only difference is that this is taught in English. But let me give you another twist regarding our another distinctive feature of this program in English. We did say that we'd like to push, we're trying to push internationalization within LUIS. And one way of doing it is in fact via what we call double degree programs. This is another great opportunity for our students, for students that decided to join the master in management in LUIS, because via our double degree programs, you as a student have the opportunity to to be awarded 2 degrees at the same time. So for instance, let me give you a couple of ideas. For instance, we have a double degree program agreement with the Fudan School of Management in Shanghai, China. Now our students that decided to go for this, decided to take the double degree management with Fudan, at the end of their 2-year program, they will be awarded with a degree in management in LUIS and the degree in management from Fudan School of Management from Shanghai. More specifically, or more concretely say, what happens for this double degree program is that our students start all together in Fudan, Shanghai. So the first year, you'll spend the first entire year of your 2-year program in Shanghai, and then you'll come back to Rome to complete your degree and basically you'll do the other year in Rome. I have to say that most of our students, most of our graduates of this double degree program do come back to the Far East, either to Hong Kong or to Shanghai, China, or in other parts of the Far East to work, or either for Italian companies or for Chinese or international companies. So this is a very successful double degree program we have. And we have similar agreements with other top international schools, such as we have a double degree program in corporate finance with Cass Business School in London. We have a double degree program with Schema Business School in France on luxury, fashion and creative industries. We have a double degree program just started, in fact, with Gothenburg University in Sweden in innovation and entrepreneurship. And we have one in international management, but does cover also innovation, entrepreneurship and corporate finance with University of Nova in Lisbon, Portugal. I think I'll stop here. I don't know whether
maybe
Richard would like to say something about it, about the double degree programs.
Just generally, for people who, if you're an Italian student and you're thinking primarily to work within Italy, you might still benefit from these more internationally oriented programs because many companies will also collaborate with firms outside of Italy. And for many multinationals, the working language will be English, or at least it will be a very important component. So consider this when you're thinking about just generally the English language programs and the experiences you can gain by doing these double degree programs. Doesn't mean it's only for people who want to work in these countries, could also be for people who are just interested in having the opportunity to work with firms from these regions. what
That's
I would
very good.
say.
Great. So okay, let's actually take other questions. They're coming like crazy via our social media tools. So let's first take the question from Francesca and Martina, who asked whether our lecturers are all foreigners. This is the question from Francesco. Well, in fact, they're not. Our faculty is international, which means that we have our faculty members come from, of course, Italy. There's people like Richard who comes from the Netherlands, with people, faculty colleagues that come from the UK, from the US, from Turkey. But I think the common thread, the kind of the cross-cutting feature amongst the Lewis faculty of the Department of Business Management is that basically all of us have got a great international experience. So as I mentioned, I'm Italian, but I did spend a few years in the UK, and actually I'm also currently a visiting professor at Rotterdam School of Management in the Netherlands. So, and Richard has already mentioned about his career. Howard Gospel, who is our professor of International Human Resource Management, is a British professor, and he used to be faculty at Saïd Business School, Oxford, and also King's College London. And he got his PhD from London School of Economics. So it's a truly international scholar. There's a question from Martina about the percentage of Italian vis-a-vis foreigners in the actual class. Well, I think I have to say it depends very much on the courses, but on average, I think the split is between 50-50. Maybe there are sometimes 60% Italians, 40% non-Italians, but on average, since we also host in our classes Erasmus students, the split is around 50%. I don't know which is your experience, Richard, for your class.
Yeah, I had a slightly lower percentage of international students, maybe 35-40%.
Yeah.
But it's to me it seems like a great experience both for the international students and for the Italian students to work together, because many courses will have group projects, in-class assignments. So these are great ways to also gain international experience just during your courses.
Yeah, we hope we have addressed the question by Francesco and Martina. Richard, you want to take the question from team? What does it say? It says, how does...
Okay, how does a double degree program actually work, and which exams will I take abroad? Good question. I don't know too much about the double degree program. Actually.
Okay, I think I'll step in. Well, basically, the double degree programs work very simple the way they work. Usually, you spend 1 year in one of the partner university. So it could be, let me go back to the example of Fudan. In the case of Fudan, you spend the first year in Fudan, Shanghai, and the second year in Lewis. The reverse is true for our double degree program in luxury fashion and creative industry with Schema. Students start and actually do the first year in Lewis, and then they go on to France to Schema Business School to do the second year. The partnership with Schema is very interesting because Schema has got campuses also in China and the US. In fact, the two students that have been selected to go to acquire this double degree program with Schema have decided to spend also 1 term in China and 1 term in the US. So overall, they will have visited basically 4 countries: Italy, because they're going to be spending 1 year in Lewis, in Rome. They'll spend 1 term in Shanghai, China, 1 term in the US, and then will complete a degree in Nice, which is where the campus of Schema Business School is located in France. So that's a truly international experience for these 2 students that have decided to join the 2-year master program in management with a major in luxury fashion, the creative industry. Let me still talking about the luxury fashion and creative industries. There's Julia who asks, what kind of job do I find after that? Will I get to work in the Made in Italy sector exclusively? That's a good question. In fact, it's a great question. Well, of course, we do with our major in luxury, fashion, and creative industries does offer you the opportunity to deepen your knowledge, to acquire knowledge and refine it in and around issues which regard the Made in Italy sectors. But of course, we do provide our students with the tools, the basic tools of becoming of management. So we do have proof of students that did graduate from this degree and decided to do something else in terms of sector specialization. So it's not, compulsory that you're going to be working in a Made in Italy sector if you decide to attend this course. Of course, you'll have more opportunities to work in the Made in Italy sectors, but of course, you have also opportunities to work in other sectors. I don't know what you want to answer.
Yeah,
else,
I would
Richard.
say it also depends, obviously, on how specific your interests are and what type of job you're targeting. For instance, I had a student that was doing this major on luxury, fashion, creative industries, and he already had a pretty specific idea of what he was interested in, namely accounting in luxury industries, and that's something that he's targeting. So you can be as specific as you want, or you can be more general if you don't have not such a targeted idea.
Yeah, and as I mentioned, we do, our majors, of course, they're pretty much specialized, but still we do offer we expose students to all the major issues in management, and of course, including accounting, including finance, and the likes. Let me take now, let's try to address the question from Leo, who says, I don't want to go abroad to work, and I would like to ask whether you would like, I'm still, whether, you suggest I take this course, this program anyway. Is a degree taught in English still advantageous for those who want to remain in Italy? I guess Richard and I share opinions here. I would say, of course, it does. This course offers you the opportunity to work in an international environment, and even if you would like to work in Italy, you will have had, after completing this course, you will have had a truly international experience, and this will help a lot you to work even in a national environment, because again, you can refine your relational abilities, you can acquire also different skills, as long as you meet with other people, you learn how to deal with them, you learn how to negotiate with them. And this is, I think, an important part, an important component of your professional and also personal toolbox. Richard, you want to come in regarding this?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with that. And I would also say, you want to think of your CV as something that also stands out from other job candidates. And having an English language major or master's also helps you to differentiate yourselves from other job candidates. This is something we teach in strategy. How do firms differentiate themselves from their competitors? Well, you want to have something where you stand out. Having an English language master's is a good way to stand out. Yeah,
that's a good point, very good point. Let's now take the question from Ricardo. Is there any specialized course or sessions for students who would like to start a business, so if they'd like to become entrepreneurs? Well, again, I think we need to underline this again, because in our degree in management, as I mentioned, there is this innovation entrepreneurship major that does offer you the opportunity to learn, to acquire tools, methods of how to become an entrepreneur. So how to devise a business plan, how to actually learn how to do what in jargon is called it's labeled as the elevator pitch, which is something that you say, a short presentation that you do in front of potential investors for your ideas. But going back straight to the heart of your question, As Richard mentioned, we have in-house two say facilities that would help our students to become entrepreneurs. One is the iLab, which is in fact an incubator, an idea incubator. And over there, you have the opportunity to meet with fellow potential entrepreneurs, with real entrepreneurs, but also with venture capitalists, which are financial actors who would be willing to fund your idea. So you basically you cut your teeth somewhat with the real entrepreneurial world, and at the same time we also offer you the opportunity to join our N-Labs community, and N-Labs as Richard mentioned, is an accelerator of ideas, which is located in Stazione Termini, the major railway station here in Rome. And even over there, you have the opportunity to be in touch, to be in contact with real entrepreneurs, to meet with the international community of entrepreneurs. For instance, last week, I've been told that there were some Israeli entrepreneurs interacting and talking and working with our would-be entrepreneurs. And I'm pretty sure that our would-be entrepreneurs, our students, did learn a lot from this interaction with Israeli entrepreneurs. You want to join?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have that much to add. Otherwise, besides to say that I've been extremely impressed by these facilities we have here, like the incubator, like the accelerator. Generally, entrepreneurship is a risky activity, so you can never guarantee success. But absolutely, the tools that we have here provide you an extremely good foundation to improve the odds of your venture succeeding.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
I guess we're done with the questions. So we tried to provide you an overview of the course. We have also tried to address your questions. If you need further information regarding our course, please do not hesitate to email our offices that are more than willing to provide you with more, again, informations, and also give you ideas on how to get selected for our courses. I'll stop here. I wanted to tell you that the next session of our 2-year master degree programs is going to be on the course on management consulting, and in that case the colleague that will present the course, the program, and will address your question is Professor Giovanni Fiori, who is a professor of accounting at Lewis University. Thank you.
Thank you.